Welcome back students. We are discussing how to understand which job is perfect for you. The third column could be a little tricky. Whenever I make my students do this particular assignment, most of them have issues with this column. They find it to be unwarranted, but trust me, this step is extremely important. Each one of us has our own set of values in life. For example, some of you might look for sustainability at the workplace, or it could be a competitive environment that will bring out the best in you, or maybe a laid-back one. Or you might be someone driven by working at a place which might offer less money but gives you a better chance to give back to the community, such as working for an animal shelter or an NGO. One way to understand what values you hold dear is to think of someone you admire. This person need not necessarily be from the same career field that you are interested in or planning to opt. Your ideal could be anyone from an Olympian to someone close to you. Then try to figure out what values do these people hold dear. Would this person lie to get success or take the shortcut? Read about them if they are a famous person and see if you can imagine yourself doing things they have done. Personally, I have always admired Rosa Parks. I am sure you haven't heard about her. She is no sports person or actress. She was just an ordinary black woman who refused to give up her seat on the bus to a white person. Her courage, her determination to stand to a national bully, and her value regarding human equality is what triggered the change in discrimination. So, on a personal level, I believe in human equality, which is why I have Rosa Parks as one of my idols. This is how you will find out your own values in life. And once you do, list them all down. Trust me, this step is important because tomorrow if you do end up in a job that somehow makes you go against your core values, despite bringing in an impressive paycheck per month, you are going to absolutely hate it. Yes, hear this from me. I know so many people who are engaged in jobs that go against their personalities and principles in life. And either they are living in a self-made mental hell or are constantly switching jobs. So please do take the time to thoroughly and precisely write down this column. Moving on, the fourth column is the type of job you will absolutely never take up, no matter how hard the conditions. A colleague of mine was offered a job in one of the leading cosmetic brand offices, but she refused because that brand used animals to test their products, and she is an avid supporter of animal rights and equality. Similarly, if you have certain preconceptions against certain types of jobs, list them all down. Congratulations! You are now well ahead on your path of finding the right career for yourself. Once you have the list ready, use the information to align your thoughts down to the 4 P's. The 4 P's are: number 1, purpose; number 2, passion; number 3, principles; and 4th, possibilities. Each one of us has a purpose in life, and most of us achieve this via the profession we choose. Align your purpose with your passion and principle and try to tick as many options in the first column as you can. Basically, see how many of these jobs satisfy your purpose, passion and the list of principles. Now when you have narrowed it down to a certain categories of career options that you can choose from, it is important to look at the possibilities in the current times. This would give you a good idea to start considering your ideal job. So now you have the list ready. Good. Now what? You still have at least 4 to 5 options to choose from unless you have arrived at the exact and only job that you believe you have been born to do. In this situation, you need to limit your focus. How are you going to limit your focus? by examining each job on the basis of various categories that I will be talking about in a minute. I suggest you get a few pieces of paper because you will have a lot of writing to do. The first category is scope of growth. Look, a profession is something you need to stick to until you reach retirement, which is why it makes a lot of sense to choose one that you enjoy. However, the scope of growth is a major factor to consider, since where would you be in future is widely dependent on how much your chosen industry will grow or not. The second category is interest specific jobs. Check the final list of possible jobs that you have in hand. Have you written specific industries such as sales or communication? Interest specific jobs means that within sales, what would it be that would most attract your attention? Whether you would want to conduct sales over the phone or in person. Similarly, the media and communication industry is wide. If some of you wants to be a journalist, what is it that appeals to you the most? Writing or being on camera? Because if it is writing that brings out your creative side best, then you would opt for print media. And if you like facing the camera or becoming a known face, then it is broadcast journalism that you would be most happy in. The third category is an important one, but mostly overlooked. Also, I am coupling two categories in one. Two categories are number of work hours and travel. So the third category can be loosely classified as convenience. Some jobs require working irregular hours or working late nights. If you want the stereotype 9 to 5 job, look if your choice of job provides one. Or similarly, if you hate the 9 to 5 routine job, look for the jobs on your list. Do check this factor. Travel again is important. If your job requires living out of a suitcase, are you ready for it? Or do you like stability and would prefer working at one place? The fourth category is work environment. Working in a big firm with people with various temperaments could be extremely difficult, particularly if you are opting for the managerial position. You have to be someone who knows how to handle people and situations, or it could be that you hate the typical office environment and are more comfortable working in a live field. So then make sure that the list of jobs provide for the kind of environment you are looking for. The last category is all about monetary and non-monetary benefits. A colleague of mine, right from his college days, had always wanted to get into sales. At a time when most of us were still undecided, he was completely sure sales was his calling in life. I happened to ask him, what is it about sales that attracts him so much? He said, the added benefits. Money is important and the major goal of any profession, other than of course the love of the work. In fact, a lot of people opt for certain types of professions solely on the basis of the good pay it offers. No matter which profession you choose, make sure it offers a decent pay. After all, your salary is what will pay the bills, and even the kind of lifestyle we live today is directly related to the amount of money we make. But yes, if you are just starting off in this particular job or field, do not expect make 6 figures yet. Interns and freshers are paid the least, but you must research and see that there is scope for monetary growth in the long run. So with this list of categories, your task is now to evaluate each of the jobs on the final list as per these categories. See how many of these categories each job lives up to, and which of these categories that I spoke of does not hold true for you. For instance, if you feel you can work lifelong in a job that pays less but is more creatively enriching, or you feel happy doing that, such as volunteering with NGOs, etc., then go for it. I'll stop here for today. To your success,